Now, Jeremy shared a tweet with us earlier today. And I just got to freaking find it. There you go. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. So I have not watched this yet. I obviously know the context because of what Kevin Durant is saying. But I'm interested. Should we listen to it, then read what Kevin Durant says? Jeremy, what do you think?
I say listen to it and then we can read what KD says.
All right, so let's listen to Stephen A. Smith here.
For the Brooklyn Nets right now.
Well, listen, as far as I'm concerned, number one, you're going to lose Harden. I don't think there's any question about that. You don't win the championship, you're going to lose Harden. That's number one. Number two, we don't know what's going to happen with the Kyrie situation because we don't know how frustrated people are going to be. Kyrie Irving is absolutely spectacular. He's box office, but in the same breath, hey, what are you going to do if he can't play consistently? Because we don't know where the mandate's going to go or anything like that. Kevin Durant's got some decisions to make. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I want to be very, very careful about what I'm saying. Because, Mama Durant might be watching, and I just want to make sure that I'm very, very clear with what I'm saying. KD, obviously,
he's asking for it, man. Stephen A. Smith is asking for it.
Yep.
A lot of this stuff, he knows what he's doing because I think he knows this is the reaction he'll probably get.
Said the other day on First Take how, you know something? If you lose, especially if Steph Curry wins and you lose, you're going to be known more for departing and electing to leave Steph Curry to join Kyrie Irving. Then you might be recognized for the 2 championships and the 2 NBA Finals MVP. We all love basketball, and we know how phenomenal KD is. I think he's the best in the world when healthy. That's just my personal opinion. That's how much respect I have for him. But I've been in the media for a little while. Mike Wilbon's been in the media for a little while. And there are going to be people. All I'm saying is there's going to be people, especially if Golden State wins and Brooklyn doesn't win. With all of this stuff that went on this year, that is going to look at his choice to join with Kyrie Irving and depart from Steph Curry, as opposed to staying with Steph Curry. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's right. When KD tweeted and said it was egregious for me to say that on NBA Today with Malika and Shanae is when I said it. I'm saying I tweeted back. You're absolutely right. It is egregious. It's unfair. It ain't right. You deserve better. But since when has that had anything to do with headlines on the back pages? Both of you, you've written columns for years for the Washington Post. You've been a professional athlete and an elite college athlete as well. You know there's plenty of things that are unfair that end up being the narrative, particularly on the back pages. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, and then Kevin Durant, real quick with the response. Steve, since you decided to use ESPN to push your personal agendas, I'm sure your minions will run with this story for you. But if you believe this is what my career is defined by, then you're just a flat out hater. It's going to be hard to box the God in.
Yeah. So look, I think Stephen A. Smith worked Kevin Durant to get a response out of him, and he got exactly what he wanted. I also don't think Stephen A. is wrong. Like, KD joined the Warriors after losing to the Warriors. He blew
a 3-1 lead before the Warriors did.
Yeah, he's an all-time great player, but he can't overcome that at this point in time. And if he doesn't, he's always going to have things like that hanging over his head. And it's crazy that he's such an all-time great player, but he can't overcome this aura that's around him on this. And I think Stephen A. just baited him and he walked right back into it, because I think we all know that KD is one of the most sensitive superstars of all time on social media. He'll respond. And I think Stephen A. just baited him and he walked right into it.
But let's be real. Who actually respects those 2 titles he won in Golden State?
Not me.
Well,
I don't either.
The thing is, when you look at the way KD performed, I think that's a big part of it.
We already knew he could perform like that.
When you look at the way Kevin Durant performed directly up against LeBron James in those games, in those series, I think that changed a lot of people's minds on where Kevin Durant stands in terms of NBA players. You know what I mean? Despite the fact, of course he joined the Warriors, all of that. But when you look at some of those moments, that pull-up 3 that Kevin Durant hit over LeBron, like all this shit, I think that really affected people's perception of Kevin Durant. Now, I do think if he never wins again, that will forever, I agree. That will forever be his legacy if he doesn't win. Not if he doesn't just win this year in Brooklyn with Kyrie and all this stuff. Not just this year. But if he never wins again, I do think that does cement his legacy, and he'll never be seen as being able to do it himself. So
yeah.
See,
It's just go ahead.
I was going to say, I'd rather have 0 titles than go the route that he took to get those 2 titles. Those 2 titles, I don't want to say that they're easy, but they really were easy. I mean, they just made the league a joke, a complete joke. Mm-hmm. And he went to the team that he blew a 3-1 lead to, and we were supposed to respect him by joining that team that had won 73 games, and he won back-to-back titles. Now, granted, he was the Finals MVP, but I think everybody knew that he was a better player than Steph Curry. Everybody knew that. So he didn't need to go there to prove that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be a superstar of that caliber and go to somebody else's team after they beat you.
Right.
The team that beat you, then you go to them to it's not a good look. And
that's
so
I said
we do have to factor in
LeBron did.
We do have to factor in he played with Russell Westbrook. So I mean, come on. That is a handicap in and of itself.
Honestly, though, James Harden's the reason they lost that finals.
Well,
Harden
the 3-1
was terrible.
Yeah,
but that's before the 3-1 lead. That's before the 3-1 lead stuff, though. The 3-1 leads after Harden was already gone. That was Durant and Russ. That first finals they made, they really didn't belong. You know, they really didn't belong there. And those guys were all really young.
But if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that the Thunder were favored in that finals against the Heat. I think they were.
I mean, you had 3 MVP caliber players,
but
on that.
You didn't know
team.
that at that time.
Well, yeah, but they were MVPs then. You know what I mean? Like, look at Kobe's second year in the league. Right.
Yeah, but they were good. They were really good. All of them were extremely good. And again, Harden's the reason that they lost those finals. Go back, he was awful. He was awful.
Yeah, he didn't really show up until like the last couple of games, and they still lost those. Because remember, they won game 1, then they lost 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we'll see. You're right about Stephen A. Smith. He definitely baited his ass.
He 100%
no doubt about it.
100%.